Hi, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've previously visited. My name is Megan, also known as Nightingale Tarot. You can find me on my website at nightingaletarot.com. I'll also post a link to that in the description down below the video. You can contact me there as well as learn more about my services. You'll find out how to book several different types of private readings. I also perform malocchio, aka evil eye removals, so you can book that there as well. Keep in mind that even though I live in Honolulu, almost all of my readings are performed virtually, so you don't have to live near me in order to book a private reading. Keep in mind that more support equals more content, so if you like what you see, please hit like, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss any new content. The more support I get, the more content I'll likely make, because I need to know people, are watching and care about what I'm posting in order to continue feeling like making content. So today's reading is going to be, what is my ex thinking? Now keep in mind, this could be a romantic ex. It could also be a business relationship or a friendship that ended, maybe still on your mind though. This is what we call a pick-a-pile reading. Keep in mind that these are general, so you're going to need to take and receive what resonates with you and leave behind what doesn't apply, because each pile may apply to hundreds of different people, and so every single thing in every single pile isn't going to be for every single person. If you find that this is really vibing with you and you want to contact me for a deeper reading that is very specific to you, just find me on my website and you can book that reading and we'll get you set up for that. So what to do now? Now you need to pick a pile. These are my piles. This is pile 1, the Amethyst Seer Stone and the Light Seer Tarot. This is pile 2, the Labradorite Palm Stone and the Magical Nordic Tarot. This is pile 3, the Terminal Clear Quartz. Yes, and the Threads of Fate Weaver Tarot. This specifically is the Shadow edition of that deck. So you need to take a second, identify which pile resonates with you most deeply. Now's the time to pause the video if needed, but don't overthink it. Go with your gut, go with your first instinct, pick a pile, and then if you want to skip straight to the pile that you picked, the timestamps will be in the description below. Feel free to leave comments, ask questions. I love to read comments. I love to answer questions, and I'm happy to engage with you. All right, let's get started. All right, pile 1, this is for you. So let's see, what is your ex thinking? Or maybe that ex business partnership, maybe that ex friendship. Most likely this is going to be an ex-romantic partner, but let's keep our mind open and see what sort of messages we get. The spread I'll be using for this is a spread that I actually developed myself. I like to write spreads for specific situations, and that's what I did in this case, and I love to use this spread specifically when it comes to looking at other people who aren't necessarily the client I'm reading for, but I'm kind of looking at the relationship between that client and someone else. This is one of my favorite spreads to use. So if you've ever gotten a private reading from me and that private reading involves someone else that you're looking at or talking about, you have very likely had me use this spread. Oh my goodness. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So, for you, pile 1, internally, this other person, this ex, this relationship, if you will, still thinks actually very highly of you, thinks of you in very high regard. You are the one that got away, I feel like, in this scenario. for sure the one that got away. This is someone who really valued this connection between you two. And regardless of why this partnership broke up, like specifically if this is a romantic partnership, regardless of why this partnership broke up, this is very much a, like I said, one that got away energy. This is very much a no other partner really is comparing to you. There is some, I feel like I want to use the word regret from this person. You know, is this a job that you left? Is this the job that let you go and then was unable to effectively replace you, and is like, oh my gosh, you know, this was not the right decision. This person, this connection still very much views you as the life of the party. How many other ways can I say it? This person still regards you very fondly. I think there's still love there. Love, yeah, I want to use the word love. There's still love there. Now, externally, this person may be behaving as though they've moved on, that things are going extremely well for them. They may be behaving as though, you know, they have their heart's desire now and they're really happy without you, but that is really not the case. Now, on the flip side, sometimes these cards here in this particular section of this spread that I designed are this person may be actually behaving towards you still as you're the one, I want you back. The external behavior does not necessarily match the internal behavior. And that's really the important part of this spread, is that you have internal thoughts and feelings here, you have external behavior here, and you have a combination of that energy here. And in this case, you have a partner that's either obviously trying to get you back, or on the extreme opposite end of that, obviously acting as though everything is okay. My suspicion is that they are obviously acting as though everything is okay. I'm happy. Social media posts may be very much like, oh, this is great. My life is great. I'm doing so much better now that we're not together. Or this job environment may be looking like it's really thriving without you. Or this friendship may look like, oh, I'm so glad I got rid of this person. Things are going really well. But really, that is not what I'm seeing internally. Internally, I'm seeing you are still very much it. Now let's combine all these energies together and go here and say, you know, I really feel like this connection, this person, this relationship is very much trying to think of how to potentially get you back into their life or into their energy focus. So I think it's important for you to know this information moving forward and decide what you want to do with this information. You know, this person is pining for you. This person still thinks you're the one. This person is acting happier than they are, most likely. And they are trying to essentially sit around and find a way to combine the elements of their life together in such a way that you can be part of that life again. So if you are wanting that, if that is something that you desire to have, then yeah, you could have that. Is that best for you? I'm not sure. That's something that we should probably dig into in a private reading if that's something you want to look at. But overall, the energy is very much ripe for the two of you coming back together, or that job and you coming back together, or whatever we're looking at coming back together. And, you know, giving it another try. So that's it for pile 1. And we are going to move on to pile 2. All right, pile 2. Let's see what we have for you. Okay. All right, so we're looking at, is my ex thinking of me? What is my ex thinking of me? What is my ex thinking of the connection? And remember, this could be a romantic partner. This could be a business partner or a job. This could be a friendship, a connection that's no longer necessarily in your life, but that you're still thinking about, that's still on your mind. And this spread that I'll be using is a spread that I wrote and designed myself. I use it all the time whenever I am looking at connections, particularly whenever the client that is coming to me for a reading wants a reading to discuss what the other person is thinking and feeling. So I'm looking at feelings other than my client. I use this spread all the time. So if you've had a private reading by me, you've probably had me use this spread if you've asked me about someone else other than you. Okay, let's see what we have. So this other person, this other connection, internally, it looks like what led to the, I guess, demise of this connection was this person's need to essentially seek out something else, something different. There's a little bit of a, how can I say it? I'm just going to say it. There's a little bit of a like, I'm too good for you sort of vibe. It's like this person felt like they sort of outgrew this relationship. They needed to cast the net out to look for something different, to look for something bigger. You know, it's almost like I want to move away from my small town and you're kind of trapped here. It feels like I've outgrown this relationship. This person is still looking back at the relationship and thinking that. That's the line of thinking. I outgrew that relationship. I needed to see what else was out there. I needed to expand my horizons. I need to broaden my scope. That was kind of the vibe. That's really why the relationship ended. Externally, I feel like, this person, this connection says, I'm too good for this. I've outgrown this. I need to get out. And so they get out, and I don't necessarily want to say that they regret getting out, because it's not that. It's just that things, the grass was not necessarily greener on the other side. I feel like this person is okay with their decision. I don't think this person is spending a lot of time thinking about you. I don't think this person is spending a lot of time wanting to reconnect the relationship. I think this connection is happy. They look good and content where they are. However, there's a little edge of feeling like they thought that once they got out of this relationship, all of a sudden their life was going to take off. It was just going to be they were just going to take off and they were just going to bloom in a totally different direction. And now they're feeling a little impatient. But I really don't think that's related necessarily to you. I think that it's important for you to understand that this person is happy with their decision. There's a little hint of they stayed in that connection longer than they should have. They kind of feel like this person definitely feels like they gave it their all with you before making the choice to split. So know that this wasn't a hasty decision. This wasn't I woke up one day and threw it all away. There was thought put into this, which may or may not make you feel better. Honestly, I don't know, but I'm not here to sugarcoat. I'm here to tell you what I see, and this is what I see. And then as we move this forward and combine it all together, I have this need for this person, this connection, to do things differently the next time around. So I feel like the time spent with you, the relationship with you, that connection with you taught this person a lot about what they didn't know when it comes to relationships, to connections, to how to, I guess, behave, how to be in a relationship, in a connection, in a connected partnership, regardless of the nature of that partnership. So through their experience with you, kind of the purpose you served universally for this other person is, I need to do it better. I need to do it different. I don't know everything I thought I knew. I need to learn. So your connection with this person has allowed them to see essentially what a healthy relationship should be like and should look like. And like I said, I don't think this really has anything to do with you. I don't think you were unhealthy. I think the connection might have been a little unhealthy for this person because they weren't connected in a healthy way to you. I hope that makes sense. But like I said, they feel like they kind of just outgrew that connection. It needed something different. And in order to get something different, they needed to go their separate way. And they are at peace with that decision. They do feel like they gave it their all, 100% all, but they are not looking back on your relationship with, regret over leaving or regret that it ever happened. There's no feeling that it was a mistake. There's no feeling that it was, oh, I should have never done that. It's very much a feeling of, this connection helped me on my path to be better and to be healthier and to have healthier connections. And that's how they're looking at it. Now, whether you feel that way about this connection or not really isn't the nature of this reading, right? This reading is about how they feel about you and what they're thinking about your connection. And this is what they're thinking about your connection. Served its purpose, had to set it loose, moving on to other things, learning how to do it better so that they can take better, healthier thought patterns into their next connection. So that's it for pile 2. Now we're going to move on to pile 3. Okay, pile 3, this is your reading. Let's see what we have for you today in regards to what is your ex thinking about the connection that you had. What do they think about you? Whether this be a romantic ex, a business partnership, a friendship, just some connection that fell away for whatever reason, but maybe still on your mind, especially as of late. This spread that I'm going to use is a spread that I designed myself. I wrote it, I use it all the time. When clients are coming to me and they're asking about someone else and what that someone else is thinking of them or the situation, this is almost always the spread that I'll pull out. So that if you've had a private reading from me, you will have almost definitely had this spread used for you if you're asking about someone else other than yourself. So let's see what we have. And I will say, sometimes when I'm talking about relationships, I'm telling people things that they don't want to hear. Sometimes it's hard to hear what other people are thinking about your relationship and your connection if it's not the same thing that you thought about that relationship and that connection. But I'm never here to sugarcoat or, make things sound better or nicer than they are. I'm really here to tell you what I see, and that's absolutely what I'm going to do. But, like I said, relationship readings are always really hard. And sometimes people get really mad, and that's okay. Okay. So when this person, this connection, looks back at you and the connection, their thought, their impression of this relationship or this connection is that they had to sacrifice themselves in order to be with you. And like I said, that may be hard for you to hear, but that's their perception. Is that reality? I don't know. I wasn't in your relationship, but their perception, and that's what this reading is about, is what are they thinking? Their perception is that you were controlling and they viewed you almost as like an addiction in which they lost themselves. There's a lot of, and you may have noticed that they behaved this way in the relationship, like they were a martyr. They martyred themselves, and you may have heard things like, well, if I do anything right, just let me know, or I can't do anything right, or those kind of gaslighting sort of statements like that, because their perception was that you were the one in control, you were calling all the shots, they had to make all the sacrifices, and you weren't really able to compromise and meet in the middle for a 50-50 type partnership. Like I said, this is their perception of the relationship. However, you have such a charismatic, sort of addictive quality to you that whenever I move to this section, and kind of how they're externally manifesting this connection and what the behavior is now, they're pretty bored without you. So that's that. You have this really charismatic, really addictive, really like way of pulling people into your circle and into your energy that people find kind of intoxicating and really difficult to walk away from. And so this person, whatever, it falls apart for whatever reason, and now they're kind of bored without you. It's like you were exciting. Even though they were sacrificing and giving up a lot of themselves, you were very exciting. And this person is having a really hard time finding someone who measures up to you. Even if they are in a new relationship, or if this is a friend and they've moved on to other friendships, or even this is a job that you're no longer with and they've hired someone new, it's not the same as you. It falls a little flat. Even though this new partnership that they may have, or this new, direction that they're taking is very stable and very secure, it's a little boring. So I guess even though they had these negative feelings about the relationship, you can take a little bit of like comfort, I guess, in knowing that you were way more exciting than what they have going on now. And even though I don't feel like this connection has a desire to reconnect with you, there is a little bit of that kind of like longing in the back of this person's mind of like, ugh, I wish I could have that excitement again, but without feeling like I was sacrificing myself. I hope what I am saying makes sense to you. So that's how they're thinking of this connection. Now, when I move it all forward and combine it all together, I will say that if you were to reconnect with this person, there would likely be a lot of conflict. This card is about conflict and about instability, and about an energy of kind of just shaking things up all the time. So it's not really good, like long-term relationship energy here. It's very exciting and it can be addictive, and it's a lot of drama. And I feel like it was a lot of drama when you were together the first time. And if you were to like reconnect and revisit this, I feel like it would just be continuous drama again. It wouldn't be any more stable, any more secure, or any healthier this time around than it was that time around. So even though this person is looking back with fondness and, you know, a sense of boredom and like, oh, I wish I could have that excitement again, this card here leads me to believe that even if they are to reapproach you, or you reapproach this situation, that it's likely going to be just the same conflict, the same drama, the same instability, and will lead to unhappiness in the long term. So I would say this is a no-go on the reconnection of this. And that is pile 3.